the story of Cristiano Ronaldo, how he became the GOAT of football. This video is meant to give you all the information about one of the famous GOATs, Cristiano Ronaldo, or CR7 as he has become popularly known. Before we start discussing the GOAT of football, there are different arguments between the two great footballers, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, regarding who is better. Born on February 5, 1985 to his mother, Maria Dolores, and late father, José Denis Aveiro, Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro probably never knew he would rise to stardom that quickly. Ronaldo's hometown is Funchal, located in the Madeira Islands. In case you don't know, it's not mainland Portugal, but one of the country's claimed islands. When he was born, his father named him Ronaldo, in admiration of Ronald Reagan, who had just been sworn in for a second U.S. term as president. Cristiano Ronaldo is the last of 3 children born to his parents, Maria Dolores, a cook, and José Denis Aveiro, a former soldier, gardener, and utility worker. Ronnie grew up with his brother Hugo and 2 sisters, Elma and Katya. As the youngest child in his family, the media reported that his mother and father spoiled him. At that time, Cristiano could go scot-free every time he committed an offense. Instead of admitting what he had done, he pretended to cry in front of his parents. Hugo, Elma, and Katya, his seniors, were then blamed for his mistakes. Everyone knows that the widely acclaimed GOAT is football's first billionaire and the most followed human on social media. Interestingly, CR7 came from humble beginnings and didn't have access to many of the luxuries his companions had. Cristiano Ronaldo's family was not rich, and he experienced extreme poverty as a child, which further explains why he is the greatest of all time. He did not have access to some of the luxuries of life that kids his age had growing up, which meant he wasn't sure how he would advance to the top of his career. However, what he had was willpower and determination to be successful in reaching the highest heights of his career. Cristiano grew up in a poor home and shared a room with all his siblings. The house he grew up in reflects the poverty his family faced at the time. Due to the family's extreme poverty, his mother mentioned in some reports that she contemplated aborting Cristiano because she was unsure if she had the financial means to cater to him. Part of the reason for this decision was her husband's alcohol problem. Also, the fear of too many children and his seeming inability to cater to them all contributed. Fernão Souza said his interest was all about football while growing up. He also reminded British reporters that Ronaldo loved playing football so much that he would skip meals or escape through his bedroom window with a football when he should have done his homework. Whenever you can't find Ronaldo around, the closest football pitch is the next possible place to find him. Did you know he was once expelled after throwing a chair at his teacher, who he said disrespected him? After being expelled from school, Ronaldo set out to prove the teacher wrong. He responded to the pain of eating and living football. During that time, he worked on his speed and build. However, the excessive speed boost was considered too much for his young age. Despite being popular among the students in his class, poor Ronaldo never got along with his teachers. Over time, he began to dislike mixing education with football. To fully concentrate on the game, Ronaldo agreed with his mother that he would drop out of school. Ronaldo's disdain for school became even greater as he grew up. He wouldn't do his homework, indulging his growing passion for football. At 8, he signed a contract with Endorsement football academy. Since childhood, Ronaldo's talent and skills have steadily grown. He signed an agreement with Sporting of Portugal in 2001. In the same year, at 16, Ronaldo surprised many with a stunning performance against Manchester United. Everyone was mesmerized by his footwork and skill, which the then coach of Manchester United, Sir Alex Ferguson, could not ignore. He impacted the game so much that several Man United players asked their manager to try to bring the youngster to their team. The club soon paid Ronaldo's team more than £12 million for the youngster, a record fee for a player of his age. Climbing the youth ranks. Ronaldo's time at Manchester United was a stunning and record-laden one, but he didn't just get there with a twinkle of the eye. He had to climb the ladder of success. But how did he do this? After spending 2 years at CF Andorrinha, CR7 tried out for Nacional, another academy on the island of Madeira. While playing there, people realized he had a special talent. From the beginning, Cristiano Ronaldo's family members supported his career. This is evident in the trophies and accolades he has won for them. At that time, no one knew that he would become the greatest footballer on the planet. Leaving his parents and family members was not an easy decision, as young Ronaldo was recorded to have cried every day. It was the second time that Ronaldo lived up to his childhood nickname of Crybaby. Despite being alone, he remained steadfast and continued to work hard. At 14, Ronaldo began to develop a crazy mentality to force himself to do extraordinary things with the football. All this he did to maintain a positive attitude to overcome the loneliness of being away from his family. Excessive speed as a child caused his tense body to have strong emotional reactions, including anxiety. Early in his career, Cristiano also had tachycardia, a heart complication that almost forced him to give up football. In response to his health challenge, Sporting CP's medical staff asked Cristiano Ronaldo's parents for consent to surgery. Fortunately, football continued after the doctor discharged him from the hospital. To the delight of his family members, a laser was used to repair the pathway of his heart, making the blood circulation in his heart normal. When he joined United, he asked for the number 28 shirt, the same number he wore while at Sporting. Fortunately, after a while, Ronaldo got the number 7 shirt for the famous English club Manchester United and joined the list of some of the best players to have worn the shirt. Manchester United greats such as George Best, Eric Cantona, and David Beckham have previously worn the number. Wearing the number 7 shirt has become an additional source of motivation for the Portuguese. At United, Ronaldo not only maintained his impressive form, but also improved his skills and began to show that he could be the best footballer in the world. A versatile forward, Ronaldo can play on both wings and as a center forward. And despite being right-footed, he is very strong with both feet. Purposefully, Ronaldo has undergone several evolutions throughout his career. At Sporting and his first season at Manchester United, he played from the traditional right-wing side and moved into a more central role or as a supporting striker. In this position, he can use his pace, acceleration, agility, and technical skills to face opponents one-on-one. Ronaldo became known for his dribbling and finesse, often displaying a variety of stunts and tricks, such as his trademark moves and so-called chops. He is also known to use flip-flops. To silence the several global critics, CR7 decided and made efforts to keep netting goals. In no time, he broke the 20-goal drought for the first time and won his first Premier League title. Several collective and individual successes follow, including his first FIFA Ballon d'Or. Before the 2009-2010 season, CR7 made a world record money move to Real Madrid, valued at around £80 million, and about a £1 billion buyout clause was included in the deal. He returned to Ballon d'Or winning form at Los Blancos, which he won back-to-back. He scored 451 times in 438 games, with various trophies and awards, contributing to his greatest of all-time status. He also lifted different trophies in all the clubs he played for, which has made him phenomenal. This includes 5 Ballon d'Or, several league titles, 1 European Championship title, many Players of the Year recognitions, 19 top goal scorer awards, and many more. Just on a side note, Ronaldo secured himself a $1 billion lifetime deal with Nike and has been the brand face for many other brands such as Tag Heuer, Herbalife, and Clear Shampoo in the past, netting him a fortune over the last few years. He also just launched his NFT collection in cooperation with Binance. After falling out with the then Real Madrid president, Florentino Perez, Ronaldo started having doubts about his place in the team. With this, he started counting his days at Real Madrid and considering a new challenge elsewhere, perhaps in a new country. Massimiliano Allegri attempted and won the signature of the legend from Real Madrid in what became a surprise move to the black and white team. At Juve, Cristiano began breaking several existing goal-scoring records and creating some new records, which were not surprising to anyone considering his antecedents. His medal cabinet is filled with national, club, and continental awards, with suggestions that there is still more to come from him before he retires. After a stunning stint at Juventus, including being the highest goal scorer of the first season, the world thought it was the end of the road for Cristiano Ronaldo. Still, he made a stunning return to the club he claims to always be in his heart, Manchester United. where he scored over 20 goals in the first season of his return. However, in the second season, it appeared there was a falling out with current Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag over claims of the manager not respecting him, which he stated, among other things, in an interview with Piers. According to reports, after Ronaldo felt his time at Juventus was over, several claims were available regarding his next destination. While some suggested he would be heading to Atletico Madrid, others felt he might have to try out a new challenge in an entirely different continent. Then, there was a sudden return to Manchester United, the club he rose to the limelight from. While there was a lot of laughter and unexplainable emotions on the faces of fans of the famous Old Trafford, there was a bit of disappointment on the faces of their close rivals, Manchester City. As the GOAT himself would later say, Manchester City wanted the famous number 7 at the Etihad Stadium. Considering the great and trophy-laden history of Pep Guardiola, Manchester City was a choice destination for Ronaldo because it seemed like a place that he was going to thrive, break more records, and maybe win more trophies to his already filled trophy cabinets. However, there was a twist to all this because he claimed that Sir Alex Ferguson, who has always been his boss, called him and told him that he could not join Manchester City and that he had to return to Manchester United. He told Sir Alex, "Yes, boss," and he returned to the Old Trafford that has remained old. Ronaldo's first game at Manchester United on his return was a clear pointer to what his entire season would look like. He came back like he never left with 2 stunning goals that made the team win their match. That performance was the first of many others that season, with several outstanding performances in the Premier League and the Champions League. In his first season, he scored goals that helped the team win a match and ensured they drew others. The club management was impressed with him. The fans were always delighted to watch him play, and the then coach, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, went along well with the superstar. While things were going well in Ronaldo's books, it was not enough to restore the club to the glorious position they have always been and wanted to be with the signing of a major superstar like Cristiano Ronaldo. From a great run of games, the club started recording a downward trend under the manager. There were reports that the manager had lost control of the dressing room, and players were not performing at their best. Players like Paul Pogba started expressing interest in leaving the club, and repeated thrashing forced the club to part ways with a coach and a legend of the club, Ole Gunnar. A new interim coach, Ralf Rangnick, was appointed, and a new system introduced. While no one noticed it then, this new system did not appear to favor Ronaldo as he started recording a decline in performance. 6 months later, a permanent coach, Erik ten Hag, was appointed by the club to turn the fortune around, and the management was willing to give him a lot of time. As with every new manager, there were questions to Erik ten Hag on whether he sees Cristiano Ronaldo as an integral part of the new system he was trying to introduce to the flag bearers of the famous Old Trafford. And on one occasion, he said Ronaldo is key because he offers the team goals. Perhaps this repeated assurance of inclusion is why Ronaldo decided to stay in the club amidst suggestions and rumors that he would leave Old Trafford to find a new challenge elsewhere. What went wrong with Ronaldo, Manchester United, and Erik ten Hag? Many football enthusiasts and Ronaldo fans had this question in mind as they watched a decline in performance and inclusion of the greatest footballer ever to grace the football stage. According to the coach, it all started during the pre-season matches when Ronaldo was unavailable to take part because of personal reasons. Missing the preseason meant that Ronaldo could not participate in some opening matches. While that was understandable, fans failed to understand why the coach had him benched on several other instances. A fit Ronaldo, 5 times Champions League winner, and a big game decider should not be on the bench in a club where he is supposed to be a legend. This continued for a long time, and Ronaldo could no longer contain his emotions. First, he had to deal with the reality that he was not playing at the level he wanted to be, and he took out this frustration after a match day where he was recorded to have smashed a fan's phone. Then, there was a place where he felt the coach and the club weren't happy by not playing him when and as often as they should. While he could bottle this in for a long time, he couldn't stay in a match when the coach decided to bring him on in the 86th minute. Ronaldo refused the decision by the coach to come in the 86th minute and left the pitch in anger. In response to this act, the coach suspended Ronaldo for a match, claiming that he did so because he wanted to instill discipline in the team. and doing that to Ronaldo would send a clear message to the team. While some praised him for that, several others criticized him for it, and that includes a majority of the fans and some great players who have played for the club. He served his one-match ban and continued back into the team, with the coach making him the team captain in one match after the ban. Reports after that match suggested that the coach handed Ronaldo the captain's armband as a sign of respect to him and a way to settle whatever grievance between the two. That was not enough for Ronaldo, as he had other plans with the season going into break for the famous FIFA 2022 World Cup to be held in Qatar. After the season came to a pause, and just before the World Cup, Ronaldo had one of the most explosive interviews in football, where he expressed many thoughts. He mentioned how things, including staff, have not changed in the club for over 20 years. He also stated that he had no respect for Ten Hag because the coach didn't respect him, and that the club thought he was lying when he said he couldn't show up for pre-season because his daughter was sick and he had to be with her in the hospital. With several things exposed in his interview, there were reports that the manager wasn't interested in continuing with Ronaldo at Manchester United, and that the board was considering taking some steps against him. However, the most important of all reports was that which confirmed that Manchester United and Ronaldo had decided to part ways through mutual agreement. While all indications suggest that Cristiano Ronaldo is focusing on the current World Cup in Qatar, the question remains: what's next for Ronaldo after the World Cup?